The stars of the Elysian sector glittered like jewels in the void, yet none shone with fear more than the eyes of the Galactic Council. Hundreds of alien species had gathered in the towering chamber of the Council planet, Varian Prime. Its skies burned with auroras from the planet's magnetic storms, and massive floating platforms held representatives from countless worlds. Ambassador ZH Culvin of the Xylar Dominion tapped his clawed fingers on the Council desk, a grin of amusement spreading across his scaled face. "The humans?" he hissed. "You propose we grant them a place in the galactic trade? They can barely sustain a single planet, let alone a fleet." Elder Vox, a sage of the Orin Collective, shook his translucent head. "They are dangerous. Humans adapt. They survive when others perish, and they learn faster than any known species." A roar of laughter swept the chamber. The Arclights, a race of massive winged predators, slashed the air with their talons. "Vox, do not insult us. We've seen their primitive technology. Their ships cannot even reach the outer belt without help." High above the chamber, enormous screens flickered to life. Images of Earth, Mars, and human colonies showed bustling cities and industrial complexes. "They are barely civilized," said another delegate. "What threat could they possibly pose?" But Vox's voice carried calm weight. "Threat is not only power. Watch what they do when pushed to the brink." In orbit above Earth, humanity's real work was already underway. The Horizon, the first ship in the newly completed fleet, hummed with energy. Its hull reflected the blue of the oceans below, sleek, silent, and deadly. Captain Elena Voss walked the bridge, eyes scanning the starfield. Her crew, human and hybrid, prepared for a mission no one in the galaxy expected. Survival against impossible odds. "Our sensors show multiple alien patrols moving into the system," said Lieutenant Kieran. His voice was steady but tension lined his face. "They think they can intimidate us." Elena smiled grimly. "Then let them think. Fear will make them careless." Deep in orbit, the Xylar scouts approached, their ships bristling with weapons. They saw human vessels, small, slow, and primitive by their standards. The scouts laughed, their comms crackling. "Primitive fleet detected. Target for elimination confirmed." But the humans did not flinch. The Horizon and her sisters had been designed for cunning, not brute force. Invisible fields bent light, drones projected holographic decoys, and weapon systems could target faster than any alien brain. When the Xylars fired their first volleys, the human fleet vanished. Ships reappeared behind enemy lines, hitting weak points no alien had considered. Explosions tore through the Xylar formation as their laughter turned to panic. From Varian Prime, Elder Vox leaned forward, eyes glinting. "They will not just survive. They will fight, and the galaxy will remember." Above the battlefield, Captain Voss transmitted a single message, crisp and calm. "You underestimated us. That was your first mistake." And the laughter that once filled the stars became the silence of shock. Part 2, The Rising Tide. After the initial skirmish, the Galactic Council convened in crisis. Systems across the sector reported human strikes. Colonies fortified in hours, enemy fleets ambushed, logistics destroyed without human ships being caught. ZH Culvin paced his chamber, claws clicking against the floor. "This is impossible. They should have crumbled against a single Xylar fleet." "They are learning," Vox replied, voice calm but urgent. "Humans analyze every failure. They turn weaknesses into strengths. Their minds are their weapons." Meanwhile, humanity worked in silence. On Mars, engineers and scientists adapted alien technologies scavenged from skirmishes. Hyperdrives improved, energy shields strengthened, and weapon systems became smarter. On board the Horizon, Captain Voss studied the latest intelligence. The Xylars are assembling a massive fleet near Orion's Rift. If they strike there, countless colonies will fall. But we can outmaneuver them. Lieutenant Kieran frowned. "They outnumber us 20 to 1. "How?" Elena tapped the star map. "We fight their expectations. Their arrogance is our advantage." The human fleet warped to the rift, cloaked and silent. Xylar forces assumed humans would fortify planets or avoid confrontation. Instead, human drones infiltrated their communications, feeding false orders. By the time the Xylars realized, their flagship was surrounded by ships appearing from nowhere. On the bridge, Elena's voice cut through tension. "All weapons ready. Wait for my mark." The fleet struck in synchronized precision. Plasma beams tore through alien shields, while swarms of agile fighters disrupted enemy formations. Alien captains stared in disbelief. Their technology was superior, but their tactics were predictable. Humans, unpredictable and adaptive, outwitted them at every turn. Humans, they're everywhere, whispered an Arclight admiral as his command ship exploded. By the end of the battle, the Xylar losses were catastrophic. Entire squadrons vanished, their technology repurposed by humans. The galactic rumor mill churned with fear. Humans are no longer primitive, they are apex strategists and warriors. Vox addressed the council again. I warned you. They do not just fight. They think, adapt, and strike where we least expect. Underestimating them will cost the galaxy dearly. But ZYTH Culvin refused to believe it. Pride blinded him, setting the stage for the true tests to come. The echoes of human defiance rippled across the galaxy. What the Xylars had intended as a show of force, a warning to these primitive humans, had backfired spectacularly. Entire fleets had been annihilated, their supposedly invincible warships reduced to drifting wrecks in the void. Across the council chambers of Varian Prime, panic simmered beneath layers of outrage and disbelief. Ambassador ZYH Culvin's claws dug into his desk as he paced. Impossible. These humans should have crumbled under a single fleet. Our scouts confirmed their technology is centuries behind ours. Yet somehow they struck like predators we never saw coming. Elder Vox remained calm, his translucent eyes reflecting the flickering lights of the chamber. They are not just strong, ZYH. They are unpredictable. Their minds operate differently. Where we plan and wait, they analyze and adapt. Where we strike with force, they strike with cunning. Humanity is not merely surviving, they are evolving before our eyes. The laughter and arrogance that had once dominated the council now gave way to murmurs of fear. Delegates whispered in dozens of alien tongues, speculating wildly, could the humans' rapid rise be a fluke, or is it something more? Meanwhile, in the human sectors, preparation for the next phase of conflict was underway. Earth's spaceports hummed with activity, massive ships launching into orbit while engineers raced to integrate alien technologies captured from battlefields. Mars, once a barren outpost, now housed clandestine shipyards hidden beneath its rust-colored deserts. From these facilities emerged sleek, agile vessels designed not for brute force but for tactical supremacy. On board the Horizon, Captain Elena Voss and her bridge crew surveyed the starfield. The holographic display showed the latest intelligence. A massive Xylar fleet consolidating near Orion's Rift, a strategic junction for countless trade and supply routes. The fleet's sheer size would crush any conventional defense. Lieutenant Kieran frowned. They outnumber us at least 20-1. How are we supposed to stop them? Elena's gaze never wavered. We don't stop them. We make them fight a war they cannot understand. Their arrogance is their weakness. They think humans are predictable. They think our ships are primitive. We will show them neither is true. The human fleet warped into position, emerging from a cloaking field that rendered their approach invisible. Xylar scouts detected nothing until it was too late. Behind enemy lines, human drones intercepted communications, feeding false commands to the Xylar commanders. Panic began to ripple through the alien fleet long before the first human ship opened fire. As the battle began, it became apparent that human strategy was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Ships moved with uncanny coordination, weaving through enemy formations, exploiting gaps in shields that alien engineers had assumed were impenetrable. Fighters darted like shadows, striking from angles the Xylars had never considered. Every maneuver seemed impossible, yet it was executed flawlessly. On the bridge of the Horizon, Elena's calm voice carried over the chaos. Focus on their logistics ships first. Disable their supply lines. Keep the pressure constant. Do not engage recklessly. Remember, their technology is superior. Our advantage is strategy. Explosions erupted as human plasma beams tore through alien shields. Entire squadrons were annihilated while human ships remained virtually untouched, utilizing cloaking, decoys, and adaptive weapon systems. Xylar captains could barely comprehend what was happening. They are everywhere. A terrified Arclight admiral screamed as his flagship's bridge erupted in flames. How can a primitive species anticipate our movements? They adapt faster than any recorded species, Kieran said, almost in awe. It's like, they're thinking 5 steps ahead of us even now. The aftermath of the battle was catastrophic for the Xylars. Entire fleets were obliterated, their best technology salvaged or destroyed. Across the Galactic Council, murmurs turned to urgent debate. Delegates demanded immediate action, arguing over treaties, retaliation, and alliances. Humanity, once dismissed as primitive, was now a force that could not be ignored. Elder Vox addressed the council. I warned you. Humans do not merely fight, they analyze, adapt, and strike with precision. Underestimating them is not just foolish, it is suicidal. The galaxy has changed. The humans are no longer a curiosity. They are apex strategists and warriors. Every calculation must assume their mind is as dangerous as their ships. Despite the warnings, HFY Culvin refused to accept reality. Pride and arrogance blinded him, fueling a dangerous resolve to crush humanity at any cost. "We will send more fleets," he snapped. "We will overwhelm them. No species survives this galaxy unchallenged. The humans are no exception." On the human side, morale soared. Earth, Mars, and the outer colonies celebrated the fleet's victory, but Elena knew this was only the beginning. "The galaxy will try to break us," she said quietly to Kieran. "Every species, every council, every fleet will come for us sooner or later. But they will learn, they cannot predict humanity. And they cannot stop it." As the Horizon and its sister ships returned to human space, the stars themselves seemed to shimmer with a new tension. The galaxy had laughed at humans once, but now it would learn fear. The rumor spread, humans are no longer primitive. They are apex strategists. They are unstoppable. They are coming. And in the silence of space, the human fleet prepared for the next storm, ready to turn the galaxy upside down. The galaxy was no longer laughing. The rumor of human cunning and deadly strategy had spread from the Elysian sector to the farthest trading outposts. Every fleet, every planetary governor, every alien intelligence agency monitored Earth's movements with a mixture of fear and awe. The humans had proven themselves not just survivors but masters of war. In the towering halls of Varian Prime, the Galactic Council erupted into chaos. Delegate after delegate demanded action. Entire sectors had lost fleets, supply lines were in ruins, their allies whispered of rebellion and mutiny under the human shadow. HFY Culvin slammed his clawed fist on the council desk. "Enough." His voice thundered across the chamber. "The humans are a threat to every species in this sector. We will form a coalition, every major power, and crush them. There will be no mercy, no negotiation. They will pay for their defiance." Elder Vox's calm, luminescent eyes scanned the chamber. "You underestimate them again. You treat them as one species when they act as many. Their adaptability is their weapon. Their unity under pressure is beyond any council's calculation. If you attack with arrogance, it will be your downfall. But pride drowned wisdom." Within hours, a coalition of alien fleets, Xylars, Arclights, and other major powers, was assembling. Hundreds of capital ships, tens of thousands of fighters, all moving toward human-controlled space. The Council declared this the final war, the complete subjugation of humanity. On Earth, alarms blared across orbital stations. The human fleet braced itself. Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge of the Horizon, studying the reports. "They're coming in force," she said, voice steady but edged with intensity. "Every fleet they could muster in the outer sectors. This will be the biggest battle humanity has ever faced." Lieutenant Kieran scanned the displays. "Their numbers, it's overwhelming. Even with our best tactics, we could lose half the fleet before they even reach our colonies." Elena's gaze hardened. "Then we use every advantage they will never expect. Prepare decoys, electronic countermeasures, holographic fleets, and trap corridors. The galaxy thinks humans are predictable, they are about to learn how wrong they are." The battle began at Orion's Rift, a vast system of asteroid belts and gravitational anomalies. The alien coalition advanced in tight formations, confident in their superiority. Their numbers were immense, their ships armed with weapons that had destroyed entire worlds. But humanity had studied them. Human warships slipped through asteroid fields, cloaking devices hiding their approach. Drones disabled enemy sensors, feeding false readings to commanders. Fighters darted in unpredictable patterns, hitting weak points and shields thought invincible. The first strikes were devastating. Xylar flagship bridges erupted in flames as human plasma and electromagnetic disruptors cut through the command networks. Entire squadrons of alien fighters were lost to swarms of drones that anticipated every maneuver. On board the Horizon, Elena's voice cut through the chaos. "Focus on their leadership vessels. Disrupt their coordination. Keep them fighting each other." Across the battlefield, alien commanders began panicking. Messages became frantic, fleets collided, and their superior numbers became a liability. Every time they tried to encircle a human squadron, the humans vanished, reappearing behind them, striking with surgical precision. HFY Culvin's flagship hovered near the center of the engagement. "Concentrate fire," he bellowed. "Do not let them escape." But the humans were never where the aliens expected them. Captain Voss had orchestrated a trap. While a small contingent of human ships engaged the front lines, the main fleet moved through hidden warp corridors, attacking the coalition's rear. Their assault severed supply lines and destroyed command hubs. Alien admirals could not comprehend the strategy, they were being outthought at every level. In the council chambers of Varian Prime, Elder Vox observed the battle in real time. They are not just fighting. They are teaching the galaxy a lesson about intelligence, unity, and resilience. Watch closely, ZY. This is what you dismissed as primitive, the apex mind at work. Explosions lit the void. The coalition's flagship, heavily armed and shielded, disintegrated under coordinated strikes from all angles. Panic spread among alien crews. Fleets that had once been confident dissolved into chaos. ZH Culvin screamed over the comms, fury and disbelief colliding. Impossible. They should be dead. How can this be? Elena's voice, calm and commanding, echoed through the remnants of the battlefield. You underestimated us again. This is not luck. This is humanity. By the end of the engagement, the coalition had suffered catastrophic losses. Entire squadrons vanished, warships drifted powerless, the alien commanders had been outmaneuvered and outthought. Humanity had not only survived, they had shattered the legend of invincibility surrounding the Council fleets. The galaxy was changing. Rumors spread like wildfire, humans do not fight like other species. They anticipate, adapt, and conquer through intellect and courage. They are no longer to be underestimated. On Earth and Mars, the human fleet regrouped, battered but victorious. Captain Elena Voss addressed her crews across comm channels. Today we proved that unity, intelligence, and courage can overcome even the greatest force. The galaxy may fear us, but they will respect us. Remember this, our fight has only begun. We adapt, we survive, and we rise stronger every time. The stars above Orion's rift glimmered with the aftermath of battle, the debris of alien arrogance scattered like confetti. Humanity had survived another test and emerged as something the galaxy could neither ignore nor contain. But even as the humans celebrated, distant systems trembled. The Council would not relent. ZYTH Culvin and his allies were already plotting a new strategy, a war that would test humanity in ways they had never imagined. And deep in the void, Captain Voss stared at the horizon. Let them come, she murmured. We're ready for whatever they throw at us. The galaxy will learn, there is no species like humanity. Victory had a strange taste. The human fleet returned to orbit over Mars and Earth, battered but undefeated. Cities and colonies celebrated, sending cheers and broadcasts across the stars. Humanity had struck fear into the hearts of the galaxy's mightiest powers. Yet, Captain Elena Voss knew that the real challenge was only beginning. In the quiet of the horizon, she reviewed intelligence reports. The Council won't forget Orion's rift. They will come again, smarter, faster, deadlier. Lieutenant Kieran leaned over the console, frowning. We also have internal issues. Communications indicate anomalies in several human-controlled sectors. Supply lines are being sabotaged, colonies report strange infiltrations. Someone, or something, is inside our ranks. Elena's jaw tightened. A spy. The Council wants us distracted, weak from within. They want to see cracks in our unity before they strike again. Deep in Varian Prime, ZYH Culvin's rage had turned to cunning. He convened a secret council with his allies, the Xylars, Arclights, and a few smaller factions still loyal to his vision. We cannot defeat them by force alone, he hissed. We must poison their strength from inside. Their fleet thrives on coordination. If we fracture their trust, we will shatter them before they can fight us again. A network of alien agents and traitors was activated across human sectors. Disguised as engineers, diplomats, or traders, they infiltrated key colonies. Small acts of sabotage, communications interference, equipment malfunctions, misinformation, were designed to weaken morale and create doubt. On Mars, the sabotage began subtly. Ships failed mid-jump, supply convoys went missing, and sensor systems reported phantom fleets. Colonists whispered about aliens inside, fueling paranoia. Human intelligence officers scrambled to track the leaks. Elena called a council of her senior commanders. The Council believes they can break us from within, she said. But humanity is stronger than that. We will root out the spies, expose them, and turn their tactics against them. Her strategy was audacious. Instead of chasing every infiltrator blindly, the humans fed false information to suspected spies, creating a controlled trail. They tracked every signal, every unauthorized access, and every anomaly. It was a trap, designed to expose the mole network while preserving operational readiness. Meanwhile, the alien council thought they had the humans cornered. Across the galaxy, HFY Culvin's agents reported apparent successes. Colonies in the Elysian sector experienced minor crises. Supply routes were disrupted. Human morale wavered just as the council had hoped. But the humans anticipated this. Using encrypted communications and secure AI protocols, they revealed the infiltrators in a single, decisive operation. Alien operatives were captured, their disguises removed, and communications intercepted. Humanity had turned the council's plan on its head. On the horizon, Elena watched the feeds. Every spy they sent is now feeding us information. They thought they could manipulate our fleet. Instead, they've given us insight into their entire strategy. The council just made a critical mistake. Back on Varian Prime, panic spread. HFY Culvin and his allies realized their network had been exposed. Their plans to fracture human unity had failed. The humans were not only resilient, they were cunning, capable of using even betrayal to their advantage. The humans didn't stop there. With intelligence gained from captured agents, they launched surgical strikes against alien outposts. Supply depots, communication relays, and staging areas were eliminated or repurposed. Alien fleets were delayed or misdirected, giving humanity more time to strengthen defenses and prepare for the inevitable large-scale assault. Amidst this chaos, a personal twist unfolded. One of Elena's closest aides, Commander Rena Shah, uncovered a mole who had infiltrated deep within human command. It was a human colony leader, swayed by bribery and promises of power from the council. The revelation shocked the fleet. Elena confronted the traitor aboard the Horizon. You risked countless lives for personal gain. Do you understand the gravity of your actions? The traitor's eyes, filled with fear and desperation, met Elena's. I thought I could protect my colony. I didn't realize. Elena's voice hardened. Your choices almost cost humanity everything. But we are stronger than your betrayal. You will face justice and the fleet will endure. This is not about one person, it's about all of us. The traitor was removed from command, and the humans used the situation to reinforce discipline, trust, and unity across the fleet. Every colony, every ship, every soldier learned a vital lesson. The galaxy could attempt to fracture them, but human resilience, intelligence, and loyalty would always prevail. As the human fleet reorganized, a silent understanding passed through its commanders. The council would not stop. They would return with greater fury, more complex strategies, and larger fleets. But humanity had already proven something fundamental. No deception, no betrayal, no overwhelming force could break them, not when they fought as one. Elena gazed at the stars beyond Mars. The shadows of betrayal are gone, she murmured. But the darkness ahead, that is where the real test begins. The council will strike again. And we will be ready. The galaxy was changing. Rumors of human cunning, resilience, and the ability to turn enemy tricks against them spread like wildfire. In every council chamber, whispers of fear and respect now accompanied talk of vengeance. Humanity was no longer underestimated. The battle for survival was not just in the void, it was in hearts, minds, and strategy. And humanity had shown the galaxy that even in betrayal they could rise stronger. The galaxy held its breath. Word of humanity's victories and cunning had spread across countless systems. The Galactic Council, humiliated by repeated failures, convened a secret summit to unleash the ultimate assault. This time there would be no underestimating humans. Every major species contributed fleets, weapons, and tactics honed over millennia. The goal? Annihilation. HFY Culvin addressed the coalition from the bridge of his flagship, the Imperious Rex. This time there will be no mistakes. Every human world, every fleet, every ship will be destroyed. They think they are untouchable, but we will light the stars with their ashes. Elder Vox watched in quiet dread from the council chambers. No force in the galaxy can match cunning, adaptability, and resolve combined. Humans do not fight like others. They turn desperation into victory. You may have numbers, but they have ingenuity, and it will outmatch brute power. On Earth, humanity braced for war. Massive fleets mobilized from orbital stations, underground shipyards, and hidden asteroid docks. Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge of the Horizon, now upgraded with alien technologies adapted for human strategy. Her crew, battle-hardened but tense, awaited orders. "This is it," Elena said, her voice calm yet commanding. "The Council wants total annihilation. They have fleets the size of entire sectors. But we are humans, we adapt, we outthink, and we endure. Today we show the galaxy why we are unstoppable. Lieutenant Kieran scanned the holographic display of incoming fleets. They've deployed over 1,500 capital ships and countless fighters. Their weapons can wipe out entire colonies in hours. Elena nodded. Then we fight smarter. We divide, distract, and strike where they are weakest. Use the rift corridors, asteroid cover, and cloaked pathways. Let them think they have the advantage, they will walk into traps we've prepared for years. The battle began near the outer rim. A dense asteroid field turned into a natural labyrinth. Alien fleets poured into the system, confident that overwhelming numbers guaranteed victory. Yet every move they made was anticipated. Human drones infiltrated alien comm networks, planting false coordinates and phantom targets. As Xyler and Arclight ships fired upon the first human squadron, entire wings vanished through warp corridors, reappearing behind enemy lines. Plasma beams tore through alien shields, while humans targeted command ships and logistics hubs. Confusion spread across the coalition. Formations collided, weapons misfired, and panic began to ripple through the fleets. Amid the chaos, Elena directed the main fleet in a masterstroke. "Divide and draw them into the rift," she ordered. Once inside, collapse the corridors and trap their flagship clusters. Strike together, synchronized fire on every command vessel. Within moments, alien capital ships found themselves trapped in narrow corridors, unable to maneuver. Fighters and drones swarmed, exploiting every weak point. The coalition's technological advantage mattered little when humans turned every asteroid, gravity well, and warp corridor into a weapon. HFY Culvin roared in fury. "They are everywhere. How can this be?" Elder Vox, observing the unfolding disaster, murmured, "The humans see not just ships and weapons, they see opportunity, and they strike it with precision no other species can match." Meanwhile, in the chaos, a daring human strike team boarded the Imperious Rex, infiltrating the flagship with speed and skill. Explosions rocked the vessel from inside as systems failed, and ZWH's bridge erupted in fire. Panic spread among the coalition command. From orbit over Mars, human command issued one clear message: the galaxy misjudged humanity. That is your final mistake. By the end of the engagement, the coalition's losses were staggering. Hundreds of capital ships destroyed, fleets scattered, and commanders captured or fleeing. Human ingenuity and adaptability had not only held the line, they had shattered the greatest military force in the sector. The galaxy had changed. Systems whispered about humanity's unpredictability. No species could anticipate them. No fleet could match their cunning. Their strength lay not in raw numbers or alien tech. It lay in strategy, unity, and the refusal to yield. Back aboard the Horizon, Elena addressed her crews. "Today we faced the impossible and prevailed. Remember this: no force can break human resolve. We fight with mind, heart, and will. Every attack against us only sharpens our strategy. Humanity will endure, and humanity will rise." As the surviving alien fleets retreated, the Council's arrogance lay in ruins. ZWH Culvin, humiliated and desperate, retreated to plan further assaults, but the message was clear: humanity was no longer to be dismissed, laughed at, or underestimated. Across human-controlled space, celebrations echoed, yet tension remained. The Council would not give up. They would regroup, strike again, and test humanity further. But for now, humanity had proven what no species had imagined. They were apex strategists, warriors, and survivors. And in the cold black of space, Captain Elena Voss stared at the distant stars. "Let them come. We will be ready. For every fleet, every world, every threat, they will find only one truth: humans do not yield. Humans do not retreat. And humans will never be conquered." The galaxy trembled. Humanity's victories at Orion's Rift and the Inferno battles had shattered the myth of alien supremacy. Fleets once thought invincible were now scattered, destroyed, or retreating. But the Galactic Council refused to accept defeat. Pride, vengeance, and fear of humanity's rise drove them to desperate measures. ZWH Culvin convened a secretive war council, joined by the remnants of the Xylars, Arclights, and dozens of allied species. Hundreds of ships, millions of fighters, and ancient weapons of devastating power were gathered. "This time," ZWH growled, "we strike with precision, cunning, and overwhelming force. We will leave no corner of human space untouched." Elder Vox observed silently. "They believe overwhelming power will crush humanity. They do not understand. Humans thrive when outnumbered, outgunned, and underestimated. Every move they make will turn your advantage against you." On Earth, Captain Elena Voss convened her council. They will throw everything they have at us, she said, pointing at holographic displays of enemy fleets advancing from multiple sectors. Every colony, every fleet, every orbital station is a target. We cannot defend everywhere. But we can control the battlefield. And we will do it on our terms. Lieutenant Kieran analyzed the incoming forces. They've concentrated their fleets along hyperlanes, but they leave gaps between patrol sectors. They think numbers alone will cover it. We can exploit that. Elena nodded. Exactly. We will fight as humans always have, not just with strength but with ingenuity. We will anticipate, divide, and conquer. Every attack, every maneuver must be precise. The humans launched the first move, a series of feints along the rim of Sol, drawing coalition fleets into traps. Decoy ships created holographic illusions of entire squadrons, while real human forces navigated hidden warp corridors and asteroid fields. Alien commanders, confident in their numbers, charged into the illusions. Entire fleets were ambushed by humans appearing from impossible angles. Command ships were disabled before enemy captains could respond. Fighters swarmed in unpredictable patterns, tearing through shields that had never been breached. The battle reached its apex at the core of the Elysian sector, where humanity's primary shipyards and colonies were located. HFY Culvin had concentrated a massive assault here, determined to crush the human heart. But Elena had prepared for this. She had coordinated planetary defenses, cloaked fleets, and mobile strike teams across the sector. When the coalition fleet arrived, they found their path blocked by human ships that seemed to appear from nowhere. Electromagnetic traps disabled propulsion systems. Plasma disruptors pierced shields. Precision strikes cut supply lines. Every move they made was anticipated and countered. HFY's fury grew. They should be defeated by now, he screamed. How can a primitive species fight with such skill? On the horizon, Elena's calm voice cut through the chaos. Because they are not primitive. They are human. And humans do not yield. Amidst the chaos, a daring human operation unfolded. The infiltration of the Council's flagship command vessel. Using stealth technologies and alien-adapted drones, human commandos penetrated the heart of the flagship, sabotaging systems and broadcasting false orders. Entire fleets misinterpreted signals, attacking each other in confusion. The galaxy watched in awe as humans turned desperation into victory. Alien fleets with centuries of experience, armed with devastating technology, were now at the mercy of human cunning. Every retreat, every attempt to regroup was anticipated. Humanity did not merely survive, they controlled the battlefield itself. But the battle was not without sacrifice. Entire human squadrons vanished in daring attacks. Colonies endured bombardment. Orbital defenses were tested to their limits. Yet even in loss, humans learned, adapted, and countered. Every failure became a lesson, every setback a stepping stone to greater strategy. As the day ended, the Council's fleets were shattered, retreating in disarray. Entire systems once loyal to alien dominion were now free, swayed by humanity's demonstration of strategic brilliance. The galaxy had witnessed something unprecedented. A species underestimated for centuries, now unmatched in adaptability, cunning, and tactical intelligence. Elena addressed her fleet across communications channels. We have survived the Council's greatest assault. We have shown that unity, intelligence, and courage can overcome any force. But the fight is not over. The galaxy will continue to test us. We must be ready, always adaptive, always vigilant, always human. Elder Vox, observing from a distant council chamber, whispered to no one in particular, "This is the turning point. Humanity will no longer be measured by technology or numbers, but by mind, heart, and will. The galaxy has witnessed the rise of an apex species." HFY Culvin, humiliated and enraged, retreated into the far reaches of space. His fleets were broken, his allies demoralized. Yet he vowed vengeance. The galaxy itself had shifted, the balance of power now rested on human shoulders, and every species would have to reckon with it. In the void of space, Captain Elena Voss looked toward the stars. They thought they could break us with force. They thought they could outthink us. They were wrong. Humanity is not just a species. We are a storm, a force, and a mind no one can contain. The galaxy has learned our name, and it will never forget it. The galaxy had changed forever. Humanity had reached the apex of strategy and survival. Yet the final confrontation loomed, and the ultimate test of human ingenuity, courage, and power still awaited. The galaxy waited in uneasy silence. After centuries of underestimating humanity, after countless defeats and humiliations, The Galactic Council had gathered one final, desperate force. Every major species contributed their fleets, the most devastating weapons ever created, and the deadliest commanders in known space. They called it the final convergence. Their goal? Absolute annihilation of the human species. ZYH Culvin stood on the bridge of his flagship, Imperius Ultima, surrounded by his top admirals. This time we leave nothing alive. The humans will fall, and the galaxy will remember who rules the stars. Elder Vox, observing secretly from the shadows, shook his head. They still do not understand. This is not a battle of numbers. It is a battle of minds. And humans have minds no species can match. On Earth and Mars, humanity prepared. The fleets had grown in number, strength, and sophistication, incorporating alien technology, human ingenuity, and battle-hardened tactics. Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge of the horizon, now a flagship of a human armada stronger, faster, and smarter than ever. "This is it," she said, her voice steady and commanding. "Every fleet, every colony, every ship is united. The Council wants total annihilation. We will give them something else, a lesson they will never forget. Humanity fights not just with weapons but with mind, will, and heart. Let them laugh, and then let them see the storm." Lieutenant Kieran surveyed the holographic display of incoming fleets. "They've concentrated everything, over 2,000 capital ships, countless fighters, orbital bombardments. Their firepower could destroy entire systems in hours." Elena nodded. "Then we do not fight conventionally. Use the rift corridors, the asteroid labyrinths, decoys, and cloaked strike wings. Let them believe they control the battle, they will not." The confrontation began near the outer rim of the Elysian sector, a cluster of dense asteroid fields and gravitational anomalies perfect for ambushes. The alien fleets advanced with terrifying confidence, firing upon the first human squads that appeared to defend the perimeter. But humanity's real strength lay in deception. Cloaked fleets slipped through gravitational corridors, appearing in the enemy's rear. Drones infiltrated communications, feeding false orders and creating phantom squadrons. Entire formations of alien ships collided or misfired, believing phantom attacks were real. Then the horizon struck. Captain Voss ordered a synchronized attack on the command cluster of the Council fleet. Precision beams tore through shields, disabling propulsion systems. Fighters swarmed in coordinated patterns, hitting every weak point simultaneously. Chaos erupted among the alien admirals. Flawless human strategy had them trapped, vulnerable, and panicked. ZYH Culvin's fury reached a fever pitch. "Impossible. They cannot hold. Their fleets are small, our numbers should overwhelm them." From the bridge of the horizon, Elena's calm voice resonated across the comms. "Numbers alone do not make victory. Strategy, intelligence, and courage do. And humanity has all three in abundance." But the humans were not finished. Using intelligence gathered from previous battles and infiltrators, they executed the ultimate maneuver. A portion of the alien fleet, led to believe humans were retreating, fell into a trap corridor within the rift. Hidden mines, warp disruptors, and precision strikes annihilated ships faster than the eye could follow. Alien command was paralyzed. Simultaneously, human strike teams infiltrated the Imperius Ultima itself, sabotaging critical systems and broadcasting false orders across the coalition. Entire fleets turned on one another, creating the ultimate battlefield confusion. Panic, disarray, and fear now ruled the coalition. ZYH Culvin screamed into his comms, rage and despair mixing. "How can this be? We control the stars and yet they adapted," Elena replied calmly. "You underestimated us. That was your first mistake. That was your last." The final moments were swift and decisive. The human fleet unleashed a coordinated strike across multiple axes, destroying command ships, disabling orbital weapons, and breaking enemy cohesion. By the time the Council realized their disaster, their forces were shattered, retreating, or destroyed. The galaxy had witnessed something unprecedented. Humans, underestimated and dismissed for centuries, had turned superior technology, massive fleets, and centuries of alien arrogance against the Council itself. They had fought not only with strength but with ingenuity, unity, and an unbreakable will. In the aftermath, the human fleet regrouped above Mars. Captain Voss addressed her crews, weary but victorious. "Today humanity proved something every species will remember. We are adaptable, cunning, and unstoppable. We fight not because we must, but because we can. The galaxy may test us, but it will never conquer us. Humanity survives. Humanity prevails." Elder Vox, watching from afar, whispered to no one, the prophecy has come true. Humanity is no longer a minor species. They are apex. They are the standard by which all others will be measured. Even Zwydh Culvin, alive but defeated, understood the truth. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. The species they laughed at, dismissed, and sought to destroy had risen, not just as survivors, but as the undisputed apex of intellect, strategy, and resilience. Above the stars, the human fleet gleamed like a storm of steel and fire, ready for whatever the galaxy might send next. And somewhere in the void, a single message echoed across the remnants of the Council fleet. You laughed at our fleet, then it fired. The galaxy would never forget that day. Humanity had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same.